Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's TSJ. Welcome back to another episode. This is kind of, I guess, a very rare review, but every now and then when I come across a TV show or movie that I am just so enthralled by, I have to share it, share my thoughts on it. And I know this is kind of a weird setting. I've got my son right here, I've got my dog right here, and you know, my 5-month-old loves the outdoors, so kind of makes recording outside maybe a new, makes it a little easier now perhaps. But I have to review the Fallout TV series, just give my thoughts on it in no particular order, obviously, no script or anything like that. If you've watched my channel now for a while, you know that's how I do. But I watched it with my wife last week. They finished it this past weekend, and it was just incredible. I was so impressed by it. It made me so excited for the update coming out on the 25th. And I just want to kind of share my thoughts again, and I highly encourage you to watch it, whether you are a Fallout fan, the video games, or not. I think that you will have a great time. Oh, little sneezes. Little baby sneezes. So let's go over the things that I thought were missing from the show first. Not necessarily a negative, but just some things that I kind of was expecting, kind of hoping that they would put in to the show. Makes sense that they did not include these things because of course they're having a season 2. But I was looking forward for the inclusion of a Fat Man, right? A kind of a mini nuke. And then of course a Deathclaw, which we saw the, by the way, spoilers of course. We saw the skull of a Deathclaw at the end of season 1. And then of course I was looking forward to kind of seeing a super mutant, right? And maybe a little bit more of the Enclave. Something I think that they could have done, this is maybe a little bit more of a negative, you could say, is that it would have been nice for them to have a little kind of screen roll at the very beginning, text roll at the very beginning, kind of explaining the lore. Just, it doesn't have to be, minutes long, just like a minute or two of just kind of like the Great War in summary, right? Just a quick synopsis, because if you are, someone who doesn't play the games, then you'll probably be, a little lost at times. Like, again, I watched it with my wife. She doesn't play the game. She's never played the game. So she was glad to have me, kind of there to explain stuff as we go. Like, I would pause it and kind of explain what the Great War was and what happened at Anchorage, the resource wars and what have you, and all of that kind of would have been, I think, a good just 30 seconds to a minute kind of build up. But of course, I know if you do that, it kind of lessens maybe the impact and the mystery of the scenes, with kind of going back in time with the Ghouls character, and whatnot. So, which I thought were great, by the way. And in fact, of course, it built on the game world, which I'm glad at this point of recording. I know like Todd Howard and the showrunners have all said that the show is canon, which I kind of always thought it was anyway. But I just thought the things I loved about the game, guys, or I'm sorry, the show, just the world, it felt like in a way I was playing a game. Like, this is Fallout 5. Okay, like there were so many times I had the DiCaprio like look, to my wife, kind of like the the slow-mo VATS, right, in Kill Cam, the computer kind of hacking, the stim packs, the Rad-X, okay, you have the just the irradiated wasteland, okay, out west. It looks so good. Probably one of my favorite elements of the show throughout was kind of the side quest esque. I know the Ghoul mentions that. I think it was in episode 2, where he's like, he has the head and he has Lucy with him, and Lucy's like, just give me the head, and she's complaining, and he's like, we always, you always get caught up into some side quest. That's like completely like a call out to the shows, right? Or I'm sorry, to the games, right? And so it's just, and you feel that way, kind of like side quest after side quest, and just mini interaction with NPCs, like Lucy giving the one NPC her water, and Maximus, who I'll talk about him a little more in a second, but kind of having to make these decisions about letting the night Knight Titus die, letting him live, having his squire, forget the squire's name that was with him, but having the squire kind of like, you know, do all this little odd job stuff for him, like find out if that's the person with the head they're looking for, and he just like puts the picture of the head above the body. It's like humorous too, right? It's got such dark humor in it, that I think that, again, this is my whole point to all this, is like that is the Fallout world, right? There were a few times that my wife was kind of like, I don't really like this character, like the ghoul she was talking about, you know, he's just like such a jerk, right? But that's kind of like the point of the Fallout, where like there's no, like, everyone's horrible, right? That's, I kind of explained even like the karma system, everyone's horrible, and everyone has kind of their own motivations of sorts. Yeah, so just like the dark humor I thought was great. I also thought that, you know, about Maximus, I kind of was a little put off by his character at first. Again, I came around to him, but, you know, I thought that he was just like naive and kind of like, I guess I agreed with my wife, not about the ghoul, but about Maximus. Like, yeah, it's kind of hard to like this character. But, you know, every character, Lucy, the ghoul, and Maximus, have their character development is really good, right? And to the point that they don't try to like water down their motivations and their character arcs and kind of just their personalities, right? So Maximus like wants to be good. I think he wants to kind of, you know, be remembered for something good, and wants to, I don't want to say be in charge, but he wants to be a part of something, but he's so bad at it, right? And of course, near the end, he kind of comes through and goes back to Lucy and, you know, buys her time before going back to her. I thought probably the best character type for that, in the sense of following her personality, was Lucy, for that matter, because of course, coming out of the vault, and they kind of allude to like special and character perks and whatnot, and she's charismatic and optimistic and of course smart. I like how, you know, she can kick some butt as well, so kind of can definitely hold her own. So I thought that was all great. The naivety, of course, as well, across the wasteland, like, you know, you can see that in, like, you know, Maximus and Lucy talking about sex, right? There's no sex education, right? So they wouldn't have like like the way that Maximus describes it to Lucy. Okay, I'm not gonna say it in the video, right, to keep it, you know, appropriate. But you know, I just thought that was like, so, like, I watched a video from Actman recently who posted about the series, and he was like, if you didn't say WTF during the show at least once, you know, you're a robot, which is definitely true. There were at least 3 or 4 times that I just was like, whoa, that was, you know, did not see that coming, right? So I know I'm kind of all over the place. Yeah, school and parenting and everything, and I haven't been able to, you know, contribute too much to my channel, but I have it, and I like to kind of share my thoughts on. I'm just smiling because I thought the show was so good. I thought the ending Easter egg was for New Vegas was so awesome. You know, I think the fact that they're going to go to New Vegas at the end of for season 2 is such a good decision. I really think, guys, that I had like I should have said this at the beginning. I've had to stop a few times, go back in, I don't remember, but I had low expectations for this show, just to start out, okay? The Last of Us was incredible. I haven't watched Arcane because I don't know anything about the game, and just not too interested in like, that design and style. But The Last of Us was incredible. I know that, you know, the Halo series has not been too well received. And the Fallout, you know, that's like, you would think that would be hard to do. It'd be really easy to mess up, but the Fallout, you know, they killed it, right? They killed the Fallout show. So I am just so impressed with it and so excited for season 2 that, you know, as my wife's, you know, we won't get it till 2026 now, right, at the earliest. But going to New Vegas is going to be so awesome, because I think New Vegas is most people's favorite games. My personal favorite is Fallout 3, just because it's the first one I ever played. And you know, I'm going to be posting and playing the Fallout 4 update finally with the 60 FPS boost on PS5 a ton when it comes out. As of recording this video, a week from today. I'm so excited. So yeah, I could go on for hours, just things coming into my mind, just popping up to kind of, you know, other Easter eggs like the Perdwin, right? I think we saw that. That was, I know no one's confirmed that, but I'm pretty sure, you know, that was the Perdwin, or at least a variant. I'm assuming that maybe the Brotherhood of Steel has more of those airships. I love that. Should have mentioned that when we talk about stim packs. The VATS slow-mo was great for all of the action. I thought that, going back, I thought that the pre-world kind of back and forth showing how the Great War started, which I guess they've now confirmed that it was actually Vault-Tec that kind of launched the first nukes. I always thought that it was kind of like, you know, debated over, was it the Chinese first or the Americans? I guess technically it was the Americans if it was Vault-Tec. But it was a business, right? Not necessarily the US military, the government per se. So I thought that was really great. And I'm really glad that the show's canon too, because I think it would be a missed opportunity for it not to be canon. Just because, you know, it was a great show, and you would think that they would want it linked to the games. So I'm so excited for season 2. I think my kind of predictions, very surface level predictions, are that Maximus is clearly going to kind of be like sort of a villain of sorts, but like an anti-hero villain, right? Like and eventually I'm sure he'll come around, right? Because he will, you know, loves Lucy, and Lucy and the Ghoul will probably be together for a while. But we'll have to wait and see, right? I honestly don't know if the showrunners expected the show to do this well. And so now they're probably like really, you know, Amazon is really totally just going to start pouring money into season 2. And I assume they're not going to mess it up, because it's very clear that the show did really well and why it did really well, right? The acting was great. Like, it has all the trappings of a good show, like objectively, but when it's not just something new, right? It's an adaptation. You want what makes the original source material to be there, and they do that. Right, and you know, taking the Fallout world, right, and kind of putting it so beautifully, right, onto the silver screen. So yeah, guys, I think that's my thoughts. If I think of anything else, maybe I'll post it down in the comments below. I just thought that, you know, it really felt like I was playing Fallout 5, okay, as I was watching, right? You have the main character, I have these main characters, but like, say, Lucy, and, you know, side quest, going to this town of Philly, you know, there's a shootout there, you know, helping the Enclave scientists, you know, and then you get taken prisoner, and then you escape the Mr. Handy. You know, it's just like side quest after side quest, right? Of like, you know, that I just thought was like, you know, so impressive. It really, I was really impressed. I hope I've made that clear enough. Probably annoyed of me saying that. But what I really am also curious about is what all of you thought down below. I also reached 4,000 subscribers, so that's awesome. I'm really happy about that. Of course, again, as I mentioned kind of in the middle of this video, I'm just busy, of course, with graduate school, parenting, but I do enjoy posting to the channel game stuff. Now maybe I'll do more TV and whatnot, just being outside more. My son likes it outside a lot more, I would say. So it might make it easier to record out here, and hope you don't mind this setting. But it is a nice day out. So those are my thoughts on the Fallout TV series, guys. Again, I apologize, it was kind of all over the place, but don't have time to make scripts or not, so I just kind of let it all come out as it flows. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know as always, right, what you thought of the video, and of course of the Fallout TV series down below. Will you be playing the Fallout update? Are you playing it right now? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Stay super, and I'll see you all next time.